Now, I will freely admit that I am a messier person. My home for most of my adult life was basically just chaos. But through several different strategies that I'm going to share with you today, I have learned to counteract my natural messiness and to actually live in a home that feels calm and peaceful almost all the time. The first rule is to keep one eye open. Now, it sounds kind of silly, but this rule basically means that you are not going to allow yourself to get stuck in a box. So when you are watching other people's videos about decluttering and you're watching somebody do a boxing party or you're watching somebody else declutter over 90% of their clothes, before you freak out and shut the video off, you are going to say to yourself, what is something that I could really take away from this video, from this experience? When everything in a video didn't work for me in the very beginning, I would just turn that thing off and move on to the next one, thinking that they couldn't relate. But the big picture is that almost all of us could use some decluttering in our home, and all of us would like to live in a home that feels calm and peaceful and welcoming. For me, what I had to learn is to stop judging so much what other people were doing and to take those little niblets of wisdom and use what I could. So really that means don't knock it till you try it. If you are keeping one eye open and you are paying attention and you are not being judgmental and you are trying new things, then guess what? You are going to find those things that are going to help you live a clutter-free life, because you are trying new things. The big reason that we feel stuck in our overly cluttered homes is because we are either too scared, don't have enough time, just don't want to even start, don't know where to start, but we don't do anything about it. We don't keep the one eye open. We don't look for possible solutions to fix our problems. Instead, we perpetuate the problem by thinking we just need to buy more storage solutions to fix our problem. But really, if we took the time to try some of these strategies out there and we didn't judge them, we just enjoyed the journey and got the wisdom that we could out of it, you would already have a much less cluttered home. So today, your challenge is to go out and try at least one strategy that you've seen, even if you don't think that it's going to completely work for you. So now that you have the right attitude for a clutter-free home, we are going to move on to the very first thing that you need to do if you are decluttering, even if today is day one, and that is to start with your entryway. What I have found is that a well-managed, well-working entryway is the jumping off point to get the dominoes rolling, because this is the place where you enter and see every single day. It is that trigger that your brain needs to know, hey, if this works better, I bet that I could make other places in my home work better as well. So a good entryway is gonna have places that you can pick things up off the floor. So where could you add a few hooks? I've recently been touring tons of homes because we've been looking for a home to be in the same district as my husband's school where my daughter goes, and we don't live there right now. But in that process, I have seen so many different kinds of entryways. One, it makes me very grateful for my own because we have a little closet. But I've seen lots of homes without the little closet in the entryway, and there are tons of great solutions. Instead of just throwing things on the floor, you can definitely add in some coat hooks. My husband made the one that's right behind me, this beautiful wooden coat hook, just out of basically Amazon hooks and some wood we bought from the store and stained it. So for us, we were able to do this project fairly cheaply. Because it is the very first thing that you see in the door, I wanted to make sure that it was beautiful, yes, but is it functional? That's the most important thing. Also, if you do not have a great place to put your mail, if you don't have a great place to put your keys and your phone, the things that you take out of your pockets and you just don't know where they should go, or you don't have a great place to hang up your purse, this is where you're gonna start your clutter-free journey. When you walk into homes and you think, wow, this is an organized home, this home looks really put together, I guarantee that it's because you had the initial feeling when you walked in the door. It was the first thing you saw was the home felt organized. So if that's not you right now, then what I want you to do is implement a few things. Decide where you want your mail to go. Before you bring your mail in the house though, you're gonna throw all the excess outside if possible. If you have a trash can that is near the side of your house, please don't bring in the trash mail. It becomes such a headache to have to throw away later. So counteracting the clutter means starting first. You're gonna throw that mail away before it comes in. But then where do you wanna put it? Do you have a basket Do you have a bag? Do you have an organizational system so that you know where your important bills are? And how do you know if they get paid? Where do you want to put your keys? Are you somebody who likes to have your keys right by your door? Or do you always remember to put them in your bag? So then, where are you going to hang your bag? Is it going to be in a place that's a zone 1? A place where you can easily grab it and go, and you already know you have everything you need in there. These are the things that people with a clutter-free home are actually thinking when they're setting up their entryway. All right, friends, if this video is helping you out at all, then please subscribe to this little channel and join us here on Minimal Ease. And also, if you are decluttering here, then please throw a heart emoji down below. Another one of my favorite clutter-free ideas is the 10% better rule. And this idea came from a video I watched from Erica Lucas. She said that in her home, she just kind of gave up when she thought she had to make the whole room better. But instead, she decided that she could do 5 to 10% better. And man, did that really click for me, because I'm very much the same way. If I think that at the end of the night, I have to clean the entire room and make it look perfect, I'm not even gonna start. As somebody who is a naturally messier person, I have always looked up to people that can just crank out all their chores at the end of the night, to wash the dishes and put them away, to make sure that the table is cleaned off and wiped off and all the chairs are put away and that there's nothing on top of the surface. And while I have implemented a lot of rules that help me to stay more clutter-free, the 10% better rule has helped me at the end of the night when I'm super tired and I don't want to do anything, because at least if I go in the kitchen and I wash the dishes, even if I don't put them away, it's going to make my morning probably even more than 10% easier. If I get overstimulated and there are too many tasks to do, I won't start at all until I'm absolutely desperate. So instead of setting ourselves up for failure, if we have a hard time getting started with a task, say to yourself, how can I make this 10% better before I leave? All right, in all honesty, I don't know how I lived without this baby for so long. I did not have a decluttering basket until I really started minimizing my home about 4 or 5 years ago. And through that, I realized that I needed a place to put the things that I was decluttering throughout the week. And I used to just throw a bag and put it near the door, and that works perfectly fine. But I upgraded a few years ago to have this box by the front door so that I didn't always have to go get a bag. I always had a place that I could put the things that I wanted to declutter throughout the day. If you don't have a place to put your decluttering stuff, here's your call to action. Go find a box. You can start like I did and just have a bag. You could even get one of those reusable tote bags and put it by your door. You need to have something that is easy access, that is always in your face, reminding you to declutter as you go. People that have clutter-free homes don't just sit around and declutter all day. Especially when I was a full-time teacher, not just a sub like I am now, I didn't have time to declutter for hours at a time. But you know what I did have time for? I could walk into my bathroom and while I'm brushing my teeth, I could do a quick survey of a basket or a quick survey of my makeup. I had time for that. And to already know that I had a place where I could store all those things until I was ready and had maybe enough things to send out the door was a great relief for me. Especially if you are starting out and you have a lot of things that you need to declutter. And as you're going through, maybe you don't know where you want to send your decluttering things yet. Whether you're going to donate it, try to sell it, maybe you need to just throw it away or send the old rags to a pet home. Maybe you have some coats that you could send when there's a coat drive. We don't always know where our things go. And so what a decluttering box actually does is it gives you a little bit of time, but the great thing is that it's getting those things out of the space. Because something that is the death of a decluttering session is when you don't move the things out of the space, because you never get to really enjoy what that space could feel like without all of those excess things. Now, with my decluttering basket downstairs, another great thing that I have in my home is a space that I can keep some things that I'm just not sure if I can get rid of them yet. It's called my maybe bin, and it's upstairs in a spare closet that I have. And I know you're gonna hear this time and time again. Just make the decision and move on. But hey guys, I'm telling you that while that is true, that you do have to make some hard decisions as you go, or you will never have a clutter-free home. If you're like me, and with the way my brain works, I have a hard time remembering the last time I used something. And I have a hard time making the right choice for myself when it comes to knowing if I need this or not. And so in the beginning, when I didn't have a maybe bin, I got rid of a ton of stuff and really felt kind of ill about it. Now, while I don't regret getting rid of it because I think I've only rebought maybe 3 things that I ever decluttered, I didn't need to put myself through that. If I had used a maybe bin in the beginning and given myself an extra month or two, I would have been able to better understand why I don't need these things, why I'm getting rid of them, and I would have been a lot more comfortable decluttering all of those things instead of feeling like I just didn't know what I was doing and I was floundering. So if you're somebody who has a hard time making decisions, something I recently even just did this past month was I did a boxing party. Some people call it a hushing party. It's basically the same thing, but I cleared out all the excess, all the extra stuff, even the toothbrushes and hairbrushes out of my bathroom, and I slowly brought the things back in. A boxing party is like creating a massive maybe bin. It is waking yourself up that in reality, you really don't need as much as you have, and that if you got rid of a great amount of those things, not only would your life be easier to live from day to day, but you would be able to live a bigger, more full life because you wouldn't be weighed down by your things. If you have a takeaway, it would be that your home is not a storage unit. You deserve to live in a home that is clutter-free, that is peaceful, that is calm, and that is not over your threshold. If you don't have that right now, then I have tons of videos out there to help you overcome your clutter and to live an easier life. So if that's you, then please check out one of these videos right here, and I wish you guys all the best.